everyone, it's Nina and welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do a little reset for the new month as well as just like the general new year. I feel like this year has already been just so like go for me, just trying to keep up with life, and I just really need a couple days to reset and like deep clean. So I thought you could come along with me as I get through some of the things on my to-do list. Like I said, the top of the list of things I want to do is I want to do a deep clean, I really want to vacuum, I want to mop all my floors, and do a crap ton of laundry. I feel like it's so basic to say, but seriously, how do you have to keep doing laundry every single week? Like, it really never ends. But luckily, it is kind of an easy chore for me. At least, like, the sorting is a little fun, since I usually just, like, plug in with an audiobook while I'm working on that. I actually have already started, and I have a couple loads in the laundry right now. I probably also will clean my bathroom, but I'm gonna do that off camera, because that is where my cat George's litter box is, and I feel a little weird showing that. Kind of just trying to maybe let my man keep some of his dignity. But step 2 for my reset is I want to do a couple different bookish things. I would love it to show you guys my February TBR, and I'll probably also give a quick rundown on how my January reading went. I also really want to do some updating in my reading journal. I feel like I never end up filming when I'm working on spreads, but I definitely want to do more of that in general in the new year. So let's get into the habit of doing it now. And also I thought it'd be fun if I went through and showed off my vision board that I made for 2025 and kind of like walk you through the things that I put on it. So those are the things we're going to be doing in this video. So with that long intro out of the way, let's get right on into it. So I thought we could take a little bit of time right now and go over the stuff I have on my vision board for 2025. I've done vision boarding at least for the last like 2 or 3 years. And to be honest, I use a lot of the same images from year to year because my goals don't really change that much. Also for fall and winter of 2024, I did like seasonal vision boards as well, in addition to having like a full big like yearly one. And after I make these images, I will print them out as well as assign them to be the wallpaper for like the home screen of my iPad. So I'm like kind of looking at it every single day. Anyway, let's go through some of the stuff I have on my 2025 board. A lot of just like aesthetic images on here are kind of like giving the general vibe that I want to have an aesthetic life and to romanticize my life more. I want to like go fruit picking. I want to go to museums. I want to have more picnics, try to do more like arts and crafts, and go to new bookstores. I obviously have a couple different like reading focused things, like wanting to like annotate and tab more books, as well as working on my reading journal. I have a couple images that probably aren't easy to see in this view. I'll probably put like a closer version of my vision board in the actual video edited here. But one concrete goal I want to work on is I think I might want to change up my like hair pattern with the way that I do my bleaching. I didn't actually recently touch up my roots like a week ago, which is just such a nice feeling. I feel like my hair really looks its best after it's been like freshly bleached. But as you can kind of see, I'm trying to grow out this section of my bangs that are like fully showing my roots at the top because I want my bangs to be a more like split down the center look instead of how it was previously, which was kind of like a 3/4 pattern. I think since the entirety of the time I've had my channel, I've had the same bleach pattern on my hair with my bangs on this side and then the underside of my head on this side being bleached. For many years, I had my like natural hair and then I would just like ombre bleach the bottom half of it. But then right after my wedding, I was like, okay, now it's finally time where I can do something more fun with my hair. And I bleached these 2 sections, as well as had this kind of like front face framing piece also entirely bleached. And I'm trying to decide if I want to go back to having that bleach pattern, just because even though I really like having this underside entirely bleached, I might only keep like this front section here and then let the rest of the back section grow out, because it's kind of annoying to try and apply the bleach myself. I usually have to have my wife like help me touch up the roots back here, and I also just feel it's not as much of like brightly bleached as the front section is. And when I look back at photos of what my hair looked like when this full section over here was bleached, I just think it looks really cool. I feel like I was inspired from Pinterest images I saw initially, and I just kind of want to go back to that style. Another image I have here is I think I want to dye my hair partially pink. Ideally, actually in February, as like preparation for Valentine's Day. I've seen other Pinterest images of people that have like the same bleach pattern as me that then will dye their sections different colors. So I thought pink would be a good starting one since I already own some pink dye. But I'd love to do like different colors throughout the year. I was considering doing an orange around like October for like Halloween, or also a green. I feel like a slime green would look really cool. Although I don't know if it really would go with the rest of like my wardrobe. But those are some ideas I have in terms of like elevating my hairstyle. I feel like the length it's at right now is a little short, and I'm not a huge fan of the last haircut I had. I just kind of want my hair to grow out again. I feel like my goal for the last like 2 years-ish has been to learn to get better at taking care of my hair. So that is definitely a goal I'm carrying over into 2025. For another section on my vision board down here is stuff that I specifically labeled as like to make. And these are some projects I'm really hoping I can start and complete in 2025. The first one down here is this bag. This image I saw on Pinterest actually linked to an Etsy listing for a pattern for this bag, and I think it's super cute, and I definitely have items in my stash already that I could use to make this bag. My big cosplay goal of this year is to make Lucy Gray Baird from Ballad and Songbirds and Snakes. I actually have a ton of materials for her already, and I've made some progress in drafting her skirt as well as making her like blouse. I kind of hit a little bit of a roadblock with the blouse where I wasn't sure what I was going to do to like fix my issue, but I think I now have an idea of what I'm going to do, so I'm feeling a little bit more motivated to go back and work on her. And I just want to do a couple other like smaller sewing projects. I'd really like to make a like tiered long skirt. I want to try and do more baking, just because I feel like it's a very like useful hobby to get into. In addition to this image, I just want to do more painting. These images in combination is the fact that I want to do more like painting on my books, either doing like DIY like fake sprayed edges or fake stenciled edges, just like some more elements to customize my books for the ones that I've already read and really love and want to keep in the long term. And I have a couple other like text-based like inspirational things on here. I really love this one down here that I actually found from a Tumblr post, and that is the phrase, "Your life is not an optimization problem." And this is one I feel like I'm really focusing on in 2025. I think I've mentioned a couple times on my channel how much I hate the like go hustle culture grind set. And I feel like it's really easy if you're on social media to slip into this desire to perfect your life and have every element of your life be so focused on productivity. And that is something I'm really trying to like fight against. I want to be productive not for the sake of like making money or even like presenting it on social media. I want it to be things that are productive in like making me happy or for my own well-being. And I feel like that just comes down to the fact that you cannot control every single element of your life to like perfectly optimize every single second of it. And instead you should just focus on like doing your best with what you have available to you and just try to focus on bringing as much joy into your life as possible. So that is a full look at all of the things on my vision board. Just filming and his face under the camera. Oh my gosh. Holy shit. Baby! Oh my god, you're a madman! Okay, so I wanted to go through some of the stuff I did in my reading journal. Unfortunately, my camera died when I was filming yesterday, so I ended up finishing up the last couple spreads I had to work on earlier today. One thing I did off camera is I actually filled in all of the new releases I'm looking forward to for 2025. It's actually not as many as I thought I would. To be honest, I feel like I need to go through Goodreads or the Storygraph and like look at all of my favorite authors and see if they're having books coming out in 2025. I feel like I'm somewhat bad at actually keeping up with new releases like months before they come out. Usually I don't know about a new book coming out until I see like an ad for it on Instagram, or where people like already talking about it being released, or if it's like part of a series that I'm already like kind of keyed into. But the other main thing I did is I filled in like the text portion for one of the books I read in January, which was One Night in Heartswood. And then today I went in and wrote out all of my thoughts for reading Darkrise. I think I'm going to add a little bit more decoration on both of these pages, especially since I have like this big section on the bottom down here. Might be able to find like 1 or 2 stickers to add here and like to cover over some of like the corners of the pictures I printed out over here. Usually I don't like write these like off the top of my head. I actually have like a separate Notion page where I like write out all of my thoughts to kind of create a like rough draft before I transfer it in pen to my journal. I'm definitely going to continue working on updating this, especially some of the like intro pages. I still need to add like all of my goals into my goals spread, but that's my update for my reading journal so far. Now I thought we could actually talk about sort of roughly my January wrap up and my February TBR. So far, I think in January, I'm filming this a little early, but I think I'm on track to finish either 4 or 5 books in the month. I feel like surprisingly, I just haven't had as much time to read as I usually do in the beginning of the year. Even though it's been insanely cold here for the last couple days, I have had occasions to go out and see a lot of my friends, which usually I feel like right after New Year's and into January, I'm very much in like hibernation mode where I'm just like staying in my apartment for every weekend, but we've actually been going out a lot. So I just haven't had as much time to read on the weekends as I usually do. Another thing is the fact that a lot of the books I've been reading have actually been either ebooks or physical books, and I just haven't had a bunch of access to the audiobook versions of the books that I was reading, which audiobooks are usually the way that I kind of like get a little boost in reading because I can read then while I'm on my commute. And the last factor for why I haven't like completed a lot of books is the fact that I've just been reading a lot of long ass books. Pretty sure every single book I read was over like 350 pages. A lot of them closer to like the 500 or 600 page mark. The audiobooks that I've been listening to, both were like over 15 hours. And I'm currently reading the ebook for Onyx Storm, which I think in ebook form is like over 1,200 pages. So I've just been like trucking along reading a lot of longer books. They kind of make my numbers go down in terms of like number of books completed, but definitely will increase my like page count and hours listened to count. Anyway, now let's go through and look at some of the books I have for my February TBR. I thought it'd be fun to do a kind of general theme of all of the pink and red books that I own, or at least like a subset of them. Although overall, I kind of don't actually have as many pink and red books as I thought I did. But I have 3 physical books here and then 1 ebook that I want to talk about. I mentioned the book I don't own really quickly, and that is The Gentle Art of Fortune Hunting by KJ Charles. This might be a little bit of a cop-out because I'm pretty sure this has a cover redesign that no longer has this like red and black design anymore, and it's actually like all cool toned instead. But I'm still going to count it because this is the cover that the book had when I initially found out about it, and it's the one that I have in my like reading journal. So I'm going to add this one to the list. I actually was planning on reading it in January, but again, just kind of like ran out of time with all the other books I've been reading. And then I have 3 books in my physical TBR that I want to get to. First one is Swordcrossed by Freya Marske. This one obviously has a little bit of red on the cover as well as these like red sprayed pages. Another one I really want to read is Blood and Honey by Shelley Mahurin, which obviously has a very red cover. And Blood and Honey, Swordcrossed, and Gentle Art of Fortune Hunting are all books that are on my 25 books to read in 2025. I feel like the start of the year is honestly like the best time for me to really push through and read a lot of books that I put on that like yearly TBR. Because when I make the TBR in January, those are kind of like the books that I'm most excited to read. And as the years goes on, I kind of like add new books to my like growing TBR that the ones I thought about in the beginning of the year slightly kind of like fade in interest for me. But I've already completed 1 book for my yearly TBR. And like I mentioned, I'm in the middle of Onyx Storm, so that's another book that's going to be completed for that TBR. So just like adding these other 3 will hopefully keep me better on track to reading all of those 25 books. And then the last book I have is one I don't think I've hauled yet in a video, but it is A Touch of Jen by Beth Morgan. I got this at a thrift store for $1.50, and I've been really meaning to read this book, A lot of people say it is very similar to Bunny by Mona Awad in the like unhinged women aspect of it, and that it's very surreal and weird. And this cover is just so cool. First of all, I'm pretty sure it's the only pink book I own, but the illustration and everything is just like so bizarre. And I just really love the overall design of the book. Like, what is going on with this like drip situation? So this is a look at the books I have for my February TBR. I'm thinking about doing maybe even a like month-long reading vlog of reading all the books that have pink and red covers. Starting off with these and then maybe adding some more, either from my other owned TBR or just like other books I have that I can get from the library. But those are my future reading plans for right now. So I wanted to film a quick outro for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed this more casual lifestyle slash like reset type of video that isn't solely dedicated to reading. I feel like at the beginning of the year, I'm really motivated to watch this type of video and get inspired to reset elements of my own life. So hopefully this was a good video to kind of watch along, to hopefully give yourself some motivation to work on some of the tasks on your to-do list that you've been putting off. I'm pretty happy with all the progress of the stuff I did in this video. I did do this over the course of like 3 days, which is why my outfit changes quite a few times between all the clips you've seen, but I'm glad it's now like completely done, and I feel so much better having like a completely clean house and having everything like really refreshed, as well as kind of like making some plans for myself with my upcoming reading projects. But with that all said and done, we are now at the end of the video. If you guys enjoyed this video, consider liking, commenting, or subscribing if you aren't already. It's a huge goal of mine in 2025 to hit 1,000 subscribers. So if you're interested in seeing more videos from my channel, I would really appreciate it if you guys are able to subscribe or share videos from my channel with any friends that you think would also be interested. If you'd like to see my reading updates in real time, you can follow me on the Storygraph, which is linked in the description. And that is going to be it for me today. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!